Hello everyone, it's Andrew from TCG here, and the topic for today's video will be kind of showing you how I list up to 60 cards an hour from start to finish, and I will show you the behind the scenes of how it all goes. And in today's video I'll be listing with Japanese Pokemon cards, so it'll kind of show you what I do to research the prices, find out the names of them, because I know Japanese cards, it can be hard to tell like which set it is or which name of the character even if you're not very familiar. And then also showing you how I store them and then put them away to be sold in the future. And if you need help setting up and growing your eBay and TCG player stores, I have a Patreon and the link is in the bio. But let's get started with the video. So first I'll be starting with this Krogunk reverse holo card, and the way I go about looking up the prices on eBay is I'll type in the name, which is Krogunk, and then the set name, which was, I believe, SV4A or something like that, or S8A, and then you'll just see a bunch of listings because people list the card name and the set name. So even if you don't know the actual Japanese set name, you could just look up the set symbol that's on the bottom left of the card, and then you will be able to easily find the card. And if you can't find the card, then you might need to do some further research, but I found this method to work for me like 99% of the time. And this Tyranitar was a little bit different because it had that symbol on the bottom right, and I've never seen that before, so I did struggle to find the actual card, as you can see here. But yeah, you just gotta keep looking, and if you don't find it, it's fine. Maybe move on to another card, and then when you have more free time, you could look for it again. Also, the way I had these cards sorted was by type. So like, as you can, I'm listing all the darkness cards right now, and then the next would be the dragon, and then the fighting, and so on. So that way when I store them, it's a lot easier to just put them all in together rather than like going one by one at different types, because I store them all by type. And then when it goes into the actual listing portion, I usually don't change the title unless it's like below 65 characters long. And I'll copy the title into the description because most people don't even read the description. So it's kind of like a waste of time to put a lot of thought and content in that part. And then the item specifics are usually all like set up, and if I notice that a lot are missing, I'll update it, but most times I don't, because I'm not sure how important it is, but I haven't had issues with it, like even if some item specifics are missing. And then in terms of pricing for the items, I always have the minimum $2.50, and I've explained why I do that in my other videos. And then I also look around like what the average is for the certain listings that I'm copying, and if I notice that it's a lot more expensive, I will raise the price, but most times Japanese cards are a lot cheaper, and I usually have them at the $2.50 mark. And if you're wondering why I am kind of doing the save for later part, is because I have a technique that makes it a lot faster than like individually adding in all these little details. So stick around for that, and it will help out your listing process so much. Another important thing to keep track of is when you're doing these listing parts, keep the cards in the same order that you list them in, because when you're taking the pictures of the cards, you're going to want it to be in the same order so that when you're importing the pictures into the listings, then you'll be saving a lot of time that way, and you don't have to like go back and forth between different pictures in a different order. And also, that, speaking of which, that is another thing that I don't do at this process, and I'll show you what I do later. So for this entire process, I start with just getting the draft of the listing, putting the title and description, and then the price, and then saving it as a draft. And then every other step gets done in bulk in the process that I will show you later. And basically right now I'm just listing a little bit more cards, and if you want to skip ahead a little bit until I show you the next screen, feel free to do that. But If you want to see me listing more cards, then you can stick around. It's around like a 1 or 2 minute longer part. So now I've finished all of my listings or getting the drafts ready, and what I'll do next is just like close out all the tabs because it gets to a big amount when you do this method. So you just want to close it all so it's a lot more organized, and then go to the drafts page and resume the drafts for all the ones that you just made. And then once it loads, you'll see like every draft, and it'll show you kind of what you need to input. And if you click on the bulk edit, you can change the specific details for like everything and anything. So right now I'll change the weight to 1 ounce, dimensions to like 7 by 4 by 1. And this is important because when you're doing the shipping labels, you want it to be pre-configured so that you don't have to change the weight and package size for every item that you sell. And you could also change the shipping policies. Like I have flat US standard envelope policies that I use on most of my listings. And doing this will also help you save time with getting like the shipping part set up, because that's very time consuming to do it for each one if it's not set up already. And in my scenario, I have store categories, so like since I'm listing Japanese singles, I'll put it in the Japanese singles category, so that way when customers come to my store, they know exactly where to look for certain cards. And this is a big one, the condition. Being able to set the condition for all of your items at once saves so much time, because that like filter or whatever is very slow for some reason, and it takes like 5 seconds to load. So doing that 100 times can take a lot of time. And the next step in the listing process is the scanning of the cards, or you could also take pictures if you want, but I found scanning to be a lot faster and getting better quality images. So basically you put the cards in the scanner upside down and backwards, and then just feed it through. It doesn't damage the cards, at least from my experience. I've sold like tens of thousands of cards, and I've never had someone complain that there was a damage on the card from the scanner. And it's very quick and easy, and like as you can see right here, it gives a lot of high quality images, and you can see the holo very well. Like this Latias card, you got the Clefable. The reverse holos it does not take good pictures with, and typically I would take those pictures on my phone because it just shows the holo better. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to scan them just so you could see like how quick and easy it is. And then I save the images, and this part right here is a game changer because it saves so much time. And basically keep the tab open with all the images, and then you click on that like photos section, the column with the photo icon. Then you can just import the image, like drag and drop. And then once it loads, you click the save and next button, and you just keep doing this. And as you can see, like what I was talking about earlier, having them in the same order helps a ton, because right now I'm just going in the same order that it's listed in, so I don't have to like scroll up and down each time to find the card for the next listing. It's just already in the right order. And for a 15 card bulk listing, it's not a big deal, but for like if there's like 100 different cards, it could take a long time. So you really need to emphasize how, or like you need to understand how important that part is. And then yeah, basically I'm just importing them all. So if you want to skip ahead again, feel free to do that. I just want to show you guys like the full process so that you see how quickly it can be done in real time. And then once you get to the end, you just click save and close, and it is ready to be listed. So it lists all items, no issues, and that's it. So in total, it took me 11 minutes, I think, to list 15 cards, and that ratio would be a lot higher, or a lot, I guess, like better if it was a higher amount of cards, because those bulk editing tools can be done. It takes the same amount of time whether it's 2 cards or 1,000 cards. So that's just something to keep in mind. Also, I know I was showing you guys Japanese cards, but if you want to see how I list English cards, I will show you right now, and with just like one example, because the way I list Japanese cards is by going off eBay pricing, but the way I list English cards is by going off TCG player pricing, and then just doing a kind of like a 30% markup at minimum. So with this example, I'll be doing a Reshiram XY promo, and it's near mint. So what I will do is look up the card with the card number. So it's like XY74. And then I will find just like a good looking listing, sometimes from a top rated seller is what I usually go with. And then just do the same process, like get the sell now. And I will open a new tab and go to TCG player. So then I could find the card that I'm selling. So type in Reshiram, look at the set, which is an XY promo, and right here it's like a $14 card. So 30% markup on that would be like $18, but in this example I'll round up to 20, because anything below 20 can use the eBay standard envelope. So if I can get to the $20 mark, it's a lot better. And next step with the listing and storing process is sleeving your cards. And this is a crucial step, because if you have a lot of inventory and your cards are stored for like a few months or even a year at a time, having them sleeved will save you a lot of issues down the line, because constantly going through and like pushing your cards through those cardboard boxes can damage them or like get a lot of wear and tear on them. So you're going to want to sleeve every card you have, even if it's like a cheaper card. As long as if it's a non-hollow like bulk card, I guess you don't have to sleeve it each time, but you're going to have to sleeve it eventually, so you might as well sleeve it before you store it rather than sleeving it like when the order comes in, because then you could risk getting it damaged in the meantime. And right here I just take it along to my inventory. This is where all my Japanese cards are, like Dark Japanese, Dragon Japanese, and then so like this is a fighting hollow card, and I will put it in there. And it's hard to tell, but I have these like mini dividers, and the way it goes is it goes ultra rare, hollow rare, reverse hollow, and then regular. So that's what those dividers are for, and that helps me keep them organized a lot more. So yeah, just go through the cards. And this is a non-holo. It goes with the non-holo section, and it just makes it a lot quicker. So like, if a certain card sells, I'll know exactly where it is, and it's not too complicated of a system to where like I need to have a bunch of dividers and a bunch of processes with like the listing, because doing alphabetical order is easy with English cards since the letters are on the card name, but like for Japanese cards it's kind of more difficult since you kind of need to know the name and know exactly how it's spelled in order to do chronological order. But yeah, that was the topic of today's video, and I hope you guys found this helpful, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you liked any of these processes, please let me know in the comments down below. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye.